If this was my car and I had the budget for it, I'd probably first upgrade the, let's say you're in the market for a used sports sedan, you have a budget of about $10,000 to $12,000, should you consider a 2007 Lexus IS350? We're powered by a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated dual overhead cam V6 that is, of course, the 2GR FSE engine, very similar to the 2GR FE engine that is supercharged in my Lotus Emira, and it's used across the entire Toyota lineup. Originally, I think debuting in a Toyota Camry a couple years before this, but it's essentially a 2-decade-old V6 that, of course, has been proven. It's making 306 horsepower in this application, 277 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 6-speed torque converter, and unfortunately, this car only came with an open differential. This is the 2nd gen IS with the chassis code of XE20. Now, keep in mind, you could have also gotten a manual, but only with the IS250 that had the 4-cylinder. There was no manual option with the 350. That would have been sweet. A V6, 300 horsepower with a manual sports sedan. That's the recipe, but they didn't give that to us. Although, keep in mind, if you get the 2008 and up model year, they gave you a proper automatic transmission, the 8-speed automatic transmission that will actually let you shift like with paddles and such. This one, the paddles are actually gear limiters. So I'll explain that to you shortly when we start driving. We have electric power steering. We're weighing in just over 3,500 pounds, double wishbone front and multi-link rear suspension. In terms of mods, as always, the full mod list is down in the description. We have an intake and exhaust, front and rear sway bars, BC Racing Coilovers with 12K front, 10K rear spring rates, -2 degrees of front camber and -2.7 degrees of rear camber, some Koenig Ampliform wheels, 18 by 8.5 in the front, 18 by 9.5 in the rear, wrapped in Firehawk Indy 500s, 225 section width front and 255 in the rear. So the gear position up here tells you which gear you're actually in. And then this will actually limit the gear. So you won't go higher than that gear. Just like in an automatic transmission, you know how you had like the 4, 3, 2, 1? So same thing, but this is not gonna actually, this will limit your gear and that's gonna tell you your actual gear position, which is pretty hilarious, especially for a sports sedan. We have that foot parking brake. And the interior is actually holding up decently for a car that is 20 years old or almost. 131,000 miles on the odometer. We're gonna go into not manual mode, but gear limiting mode. And we'll add this for the more aggressive throttle response. And we're gonna hold traction as well for a few seconds until we see bang it off that hard rev limiter. Something we love in the new LC 500, but they were still giving you a little bit of that flavor back in 2007. Very light steering and a very slow ratio. Look at how much angle I have to put in. These seats also give you no support, so I'm sliding around quite a bit. But this is a decent amount of power. BC coilovers, I mean, these are BC, so we are quite under damped. You're gonna get a lot of excess motion after a compression and a good amount of body roll as well. So if I go down here and go into second, it'll obey that. Obviously a very slow automatic transmission. But the reason you want to go for a Lexus over, let's say, an E90 BMW equivalent that'll also have a similar market value is the reliability, right? You're not going to have any issues with this 2GR V6. The electronics in Japanese cars, and especially Toyota Lexus, are also going to be far more reliable than something German. Ask me how I know. There we go. Now it'll let us go into first. Let's give you a pull. Red line just shy of 7,000 on braking there. was a slight crest, but still getting a much more lateral motion than what I'm normally used to. Suspension being quite soft is not going to make it feel as planted and confidence-inspiring. But man, if they put a manual transmission and gave you an LSD, this car would be pretty hard to argue with at the price. Now, I would think that the move is to go one model year newer, get a 2008, and get a proper 8-speed automatic transmission that'll let you shift properly. Because here, you're obviously, you're clearly held back and you're compromising because of the transmission. The engine itself is actually quite stout and is quite convincing, especially for this car's age. Woohoo, there we go. Even with that open diff, you can get this to play with you. It's really just the transmission again that's holding this car back. And other than that, I mean, yeah, you know, the BC coilovers are going to be more budget friendly. You're going to have quite a bit of harshness on the initial impact, a bit of crashiness, but I'm sure this drives a lot better than stock. Steering is really quite numb. I mean, an early E-Pass that wasn't optimized for steering feedback. It's a luxury sedan after all. I think that's par for the course. Be mindful that all of your inputs are going to be more period correct, which means greater magnitude of input in terms of the steering, throttle and brake as well. Got a bit more travel to them. I just find this so funny, the whole like gear limiter with the paddles. It's not an actual gear shift, but just a limiter, which is just absolutely hilarious. But if you're willing to overlook the transmission, then there's a lot going for this car. You have that Toyota Lexus build quality and reliability. The interior, even after all these years, I think the squeaks and rattles aren't out of control. Build quality is good. You're not concerned about reliability. The engine, again, is very stout and I think is one of the highlights of this car. You have good bones, meaning that you have like the actual architecture. The chassis itself, you know, this is definitely a couple generations ago, but you at least have double wishbone front, multi-link rear suspension. A very quiet ride, just more engine note based on the mods the owner has done. Yeah, and I gotta say, for $10,000 to $12,000, I mean, you can't really complain. If this was my car and I had the budget for it, I'd probably first upgrade the dampers, honestly. Something that's a little bit higher quality. And yeah, see, like, it's just, look, there's so much excess motion. It's a bit wallowy, but it still has that like harshness over impact. So it's, you know, it's budget. That's what you get. That's all right. If there are ways to actually swap out the transmission, I would look into that. I'm not sure if that's really cost effective though. Not familiar with what the options are on the market, but that's really the biggest thing holding this car back. And I mean, apart from that, you're getting a lot for just $10,000 to $12,000. But my friends, let me know what you think of this 2007 Lexus IS350. Big shout out to the owner, Kashaf, for letting me review his car. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out that form on the homepage. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.